This is the Franchise Basketball Insider, presented by Massengale Eye Care, Oklahoma City's leading eye care provider since 1989. Call 631-2020.
Greetings, basketball fans. Oklahoma City held a short workout just a few minutes before boarding the jet to head to Washington, D.C. to play the Wizards on Tuesday. Yes, the subject of Kevin Durant returning home came up today, and both Kevin Durant and head coach Billy Donovan talk about it on today's Franchise Basketball Insider.
What did that tell you guys about your coach, just that he was able to give that second unit some time to get comfortable without yanking guys and really let him try for a while?
Yeah, man, you gotta let him go through some some adversity, and let him just work through it. That's what great coaches do. He let him fight through it. It's easy if you just put your starters back in and try to, get the lead back, but that doesn't help him. So, he stuck with them, and they proved right for us, man. They came out and did a tremendous job for us late in the second quarter and the rest of the game.
What did you think of the reception you received last time you went to Washington, D.C. and played?
It was cool to see all my family there, but if our team did that to somebody coming in our arena, I wouldn't like it. So I didn't really like it. We played a really good team. The Wizards have been a great team, great young talent, good coach. And I think that was disrespectful. So I didn't like it.
What did you think about the way the game finished? Russell hitting that layup at the end. He kind of had that iconic move that kind of became famous on the internet with the skip. Did you think that was a pretty cool moment for y'all?
That was good to get a W back at home. We had lost like 3 in a row there, and it was good to get one. Hopefully we do the same tomorrow. That's all I was concerned with. And it was a fun game. Crowd was into it from the start to finish. Overtime game, and glad that we finished that one. So hopefully we do the same thing. Well, not as intense, but hopefully we go out there and play well and get a W.
What are some keys against those guys, just with that backcourt that they have there?
Yeah, Bradley Beal is playing great basketball. He's scoring a lot of points for him, and he's shooting the ball well. And John Wall's is orchestrating it all. Without him, there's no team. So we think we got a decent point guard over here that starts for us. So we're excited about that matchup and how we can kind of control that. And we have a really good defender at the 2. And we got a really good team. So, it's going to be a tough environment, but we're looking forward to it.
Kevin, I'm curious how important it is for you for practices between ball games. Sometimes you just play game after game and no practice. What's the value of coming in here and getting workouts for you?
Me? Oh, that's what I thrive off of. That's what gets me going. That's what gets me better. Always use these days is just kind of fine-tune everything, just to polish up some stuff. And, I feel better going into a game knowing that I put that work in the day before. Sometimes I play bad, but just knowing that, I kept building and kept working, kept putting bricks on top of that foundation, at some point it's going to work out for me.
We say this team is just top to bottom, talent-wise. So you have 2 top 4 picks coming off the bench. You got a low post scorer now, and you really haven't had a chance to play with. What do you say the talent is just for this roster?
Oh, it's deep. It's different. It's different to have because you don't have to score as many points or have the ball in your hands all the time for us to be successful. And we can kind of spread it around. It was kind of different for me at first, not playing with this group and going out there and just seeing where my opportunities are coming from and seeing how I can help them and how they help me out. It's different and it's new for me. But it's fun knowing that we got such a deep team and that, our second unit is starting to play well, first unit is starting to play well. We're just trying to just keep growing. But it's cool to know that you got so many talented players on one team.
You come back on the turnovers a lot these past couple of games. What can you attribute that to?
Just making the right play, not playing in the crowd. Just trying to play basketball the right way, simple way. And guys are catching the ball. We're finishing, and we're not trying to make the home run pass.
Is there anything from these few weeks that suggests that Russell Westbrook had a better year this year than his career year last year?
Last year he had to do so much for us, and this year he has the same opportunities. He's having the ball in his hands, and he's making decisions, and he's scoring as well, and rebounding as well, getting steals. So, he's just trying to keep getting better every single day. I'm sure he's not worried about what he did last year. This is a new year, and he obviously wants to be the best player and the best point guard in the league, but that's not his total focus. Every time he steps on the court is to win, and when you have your focus on winning, everything else kind of falls in line.
If you don't mind, could you explain some assets of having practice in between games with some of the value for you as a coach and what you try to get accomplished with your team?
Well, yeah, I think that 4 games in 5 we didn't practice. We came out of 2 games, Orlando and San Antonio, and then we go right into that stretch, which is fine because it gave us a lot more information about ourselves and our team. But the last going into the Phoenix game, we had a day, where we could kind of work on some things. Coming out of the game against Phoenix now, going into Washington, we had a day where we could work on some things. And you're not going to fix everything, but you can really focus on some things that need to improve and get better. And for the time that we're in here, we can really concentrate. And those guys do a good job of at least understanding that we got to keep growing and getting better and improving. And although practice time has been limited, this opportunity we need to take advantage of.
What do you see in this Washington team? What are going to be some keys for you guys tomorrow night?
Well, certainly Beal and Wall in the backcourt, are very, very dynamic and explosive. They can do it in a lot of different ways. Brad's played exceptionally well this early part of the season. Gortat's a big, strong, physical guy who's really smart and plays in the pocket a lot, offensive rebounds. Otto Porter's another long-rangey, athletic guy. So, veteran and Neal, they're a very, very good basketball team, and clearly with Wall and Beal back there in the backcourt, as a young tandem, it's probably as good as anybody in the league.
Did Stevens' back respond okay after the minutes he got last night?
He was a little bit sore yesterday. I think probably that's to be expected to be somewhat normal. We'll probably have a better gauge on him tomorrow at shoot-around. But I think we feel like getting out of the game, we got out of the game where he has not had a setback. He's not, it hasn't been a problem for him, him playing the minutes he did yesterday. So hopefully every day that goes by, he'll get a little bit better.
Knowing you have 2 dynamic offensive weapons like Kevin and Russ, how do you avoid not leaning on them too much?
I think that's really that's the tightrope, that's the balance, that's the balancing act that I think you have to go through, because it's like, here we are up 15 points, in the first quarter with 3.5 minutes to go, and the lead evaporates. And I don't think when you talk about trying to create something that can be sustained over a long period of time, it can't be Russell and Kevin to the rescue, because I think it's important that our whole entire team, we all take ownership in our roles and responsibilities and the things that we need to do. And I think it's very, very easy to do that. And I think a couple of things. I think, one, it would probably wear them out over 82 games having to do it all the time. And then 2, I don't know if we're really giving the confidence, because I have confidence in our bench that these guys are going to be good players and they're going to develop and grow and get better. And I think sticking with them and trying to get them to push through some of the adversity and things that they did not do well, it at least gives them an opportunity to step up and do their job at a better level. And, I think you get into those situations of playing those guys and say, okay, carry us. Well, what happens if there's a game where they just don't have it on that night? They just don't have it. Kevin's missed some, he had an off night. Russell's had an off night. You've got to have some other people that can pick up that slack. And I feel like for my job, in terms of looking at the entire team, I got to give Mitch confidence. I got to give Kyle confidence, and I have confidence in those guys, but they've got to understand they play a big part in all that. Everybody that's coming off the bench there does to try to help and contribute, and I believe that the bench can be a real positive and big strength for our team, as we get into some continuity with rotations and those kind of things. So, to your point's well taken, that is that balancing act, to your point of just like, okay, let's let these 2 guys go. Plus, the other thing I think, our team functions and operates a lot better when we have 5 to 7 players in double figures.
And our thanks to Thunder coach Billy Donovan and Kevin Durant for today's excellent subject matter. We get our pregame coverage started a little bit early on Tuesday at 5 o'clock at Broadway 10 at 10th and Broadway in downtown Oklahoma City in Automobile Alley. That's because the Thunder tip-off is at 6 o'clock Oklahoma time, so we hope you'll come by and join John Rohde, Desmond Mason, and me for TotallyTickets.com and Homeland's Countdown to Tip-Off here on The Franchise. Thanks for watching this Franchise Insider. I'm David Garrett for 107.7 The Franchise.